So over the weekend, I played my first A tier of the year and played kind of bad. Played a little bit below my rating on average and had one round in particular that wasn't good at all. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the thing that I did right. Well, I did a couple things right, but there's one thing in particular that I did really well compared to the past 3 years I've been playing disc golf. And that is throwing the disc far and throwing the disc hard. So I talked in the beginning of the year about some of the changes I made in my backhand, and obviously those are pretty important for helping with throwing further and harder, but I couldn't help but feel like I was just ripping the disc so much harder over the weekend than I have ever. Like I just felt like I had magically gained more power. Obviously I put a bunch of work into it and it wasn't just that, but something clicked, and I kind of want to talk about some of the things that I think were most important in helping that click. By the way, doing a new code for this year, Tyler OTB on otbdisc.com, get you free shipping, no longer in the off season, getting rid of the old code, keeping it simple, Tyler OTB at checkout, get you some free shipping. The three things that I think are most important are the grip, my posture, like the position of my body, and the position of my off arm. I think those are the three most important things out of all the things I've talked about that really pushed me over the edge over the weekend. Still got a little bit more work to do. Probably got some more reps, just kind of getting muscle memory, but I'm feeling really good. So let me talk about these things. First one is pretty simple. Something that I would do a lot when I threw is I would loosen my grip up a little bit when I threw, or sometimes a lot, to the point where my thumb would kind of come off the disc sometimes. And I think that was hurting me a lot. This might be something in particular to me, but I think the main thing that was causing it was not really the grip itself, but a wanting to rush through the throw. And that's a theme you'll notice a lot, is I wanted to rush through the throw, so I'd do my reach back really fast and try to pull through really fast, and my grip would kind of just be all over the place. When I slowed down my cadence a little bit and really focused on being, the word that I had running through my head the whole time was simple, simple, simple when I was practicing. Just be simple, be simple. Don't try and go fast, don't try and go crazy. Just get the disc, reach back into the right position, feel that pressure on your thumb, feel the disc in your hands, and just follow through and let it rip out of your hands. Make sure everything, when you watch Simon throw, it looks so easy. It's because he's keeping everything simple. So I just try to keep everything simple. And when I did that, I was able to keep a nice, good, consistent pressure in my grip. I was able to get the reach back. Everything was great. When I slowed things down, I was so much less susceptible to making little mistakes because I wasn't trying to do everything so fast. You don't have to run and rush through your backhand form and go so fast. And that was so important to me. And another thing that helped me realize this is some of the tee pads on one of the courses were kind of short and they were raised off the ground. And something I would always try and do was do that kind of little step up onto the tee pad and then do your run up, because I wanted to have a longer run up. And I realized I could literally just slow my whole throw down and just do a shorter run up and get pretty much the same power. And actually, what I ended up finding out was I was throwing the disc further when I didn't do a longer run up. And it's because I was slowing everything down and simplifying everything, and everything was so much more compact and good. So instead of doing this crazy, trying to do this crazy run up, all this, I literally just stood on the back of the tee pad, kept it super simple. That was it. That was all I was doing. And I was throwing way further. Second thing is my posture. Talked about this before. Unbelievably hard habit to break. Something I see so many people doing. I always wanted to lean back when starting my run up and point my elbow up. I wanted to start with the disc up here, and I think I was trying to almost keep the disc above my elbow. If you watch me throw the disc, I'm holding it like this when I throw. And the disc is way up here. But what I realized is I want the disc to be below my elbow, because that's what that power comes from. This is not a powerful position. This is shit. This sucks. This is not good. This is great. Following through this gets so much power. Realizing that doing this and leaning back was just making everything awful, and getting to here and staying upright, it felt less powerful when I was doing it. This felt like I was really lining up for a big rip, and this just felt too simple and almost stupid, but it ended up creating a much more simple and compact form. So keeping everything upright, just getting to that, and then coming in, having the disc be below that elbow, I was getting so much more power. Everything was so much more simple. Like, mind blown, mind blown. Last thing is the off arm. This is also a bit subtle, and I haven't quite talked about it. I have talked about getting that off arm tucked to the side of your body and making sure it stays there through the follow through, not really like reaching across your body quite as much, and not, you know, maybe not going way out here either. Just keeping it simple. Again, simple. That's like the biggest thing here, is keeping things simple. Something I noticed I would do, and I watched old videos of myself, is I would reach back and I would bring my arm in on my follow through. Like, I would bring my arm across my body to like engage the follow through, or to engage getting into that power pocket. And that, like, coming across my body like this took away so much power and made everything really awkward in here. And when I realized that if I just got into this position in like the coil and then pushed my arm down here and just held it here and like just don't let it come in here and engage the motion by bringing it in here, the rotation was so much more powerful with all these things put together, and then that arm being there, and I wasn't trying to engage the rotation with my off arm and screwing everything up. This was just coming in here and mucking up everything. And I actually learned this watching Gavin Rathbun throw, because he literally throws with his arm on his side the whole time. And I started doing that, and I realized how powerful it felt. And I also I realized that I was doing this thing. And when I stopped doing it, it was just so much better. So let me throw a couple shots and show you what I mean. I'll just do like a simple little run up. I'm telling you, I barely threw that. That was no effort. I mean, I'm not quite as warmed up as I was during the tournament, but I was throwing it real far. Got some purple discs added to the bag. This Jekyll Stamp FD and this purple FD1 with the green foil. Just so much more power. I also noticed that I'm like grunting more, because I'm able to like put more on the disc. It's not even like I'm trying harder, but just the form that I have is allowing my body to exert more energy. This is the last disc I threw at the tournament. Into a headwind, Halo Destroyer, went like 450. I'm gonna try and throw it just as hard as I did. Maybe not quite as good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Throwing the disc real far now. Didn't play well, but I feel like I'm just connecting with the disc. And I don't know. I think all the things that I'm doing are finally coming together. Like, after all of these form changes I've made, all the videos, like, I'm actually really ripping on the disc now more than ever. So thanks for all of you who've tagged along and learned with me. And I'm hoping I can bring home some wins and share the experience with you. I'll see you next time. Peace.